Okay, so we are back with another episode of Dream Hangars. This one is a few days later than I planned to do it. That's because the last test server session didn't have bots with mods on it. And I wanted to use mods on these Dream Hangars. This would be the first time running them with mods. So, first up we have Ceteras here with a very, very specific hangar. We have this hybrid vortex right here with the Revoker and Quantum Gun, along with, multi-layered perimeter as the mod. Now, first impressions, I would have to say sort of strange that he prioritizes stasis over overheat, but I can kind of understand it. In terms of the DPS, your Revoker 16 will not meet the double Revoker 12 standard unless the overheat's applied. So unless you dump 4 or 5 shots, which at that point it's not really any point to having a stasis implant, then I would almost say it might be better to replace the cooldown with overheat, but who is to say? The multi-layered perimeter is what he has, and then of course, all the other ones. I would probably say that regular perimeter is better in terms of close-up builds like this, but we'll see. Next up is Lacewing with Stormrack, pretty basic build. Once again, perimeter, multi-layer, pretty understandable. Next up is Disruptor Blockhorn with the ability damage boost, cooldown, and then the 2 implants minus the Disruptor Radius. The Disruptor Radius doesn't impact the path damage like the path radius, so it's not really worth using. A regular blockade, and that's pretty solid. That's probably the one that I would use as well. Graviton Hemlock. Now, this is a build that I don't expect to work at all. Damage and range on Graviton cooldown, and then this is the Daze and EMP duration implant, which is pretty good. Personally, I'd probably swap the range with the delay, or possibly even the cooldown with the delay, one of the two, because the delay is really nice. It keeps people from getting into cover before you're able to daze them. But I don't think it's going to matter too much, considering the weapon on here is Graviton Beam, which is just classically one of the worst weapons for Hemlock. And I don't think with mods it's going to be any different. Graviton took a pretty serious hit. Unfortunately, the implosion actually does implode the shields. It has to implode most shields off first. I think there's a way of getting around it, but you have to be very, specific. You have to be very careful with it. The mod here is a perimeter multi-layer once again. If your goal is to stay back, keep your distance, then typically you can go with a blockade or a blockade multi-layer. So one of those may have been a better choice for this. And then lastly, we have Seeker with the Savant 12s. This is a very interesting build for sure. Of course, all in on the damage, ability damage and ability range, with the primary mod being another perimeter multi-layer. Now the goal mostly with this is to stay back pretty much as possible, and then only teleport in if you can get an easy kill from it. In which case, possibly a regular perimeter might have been a better idea than the multi-layer one, but I don't think this build just in general is going to be very ideal, because the reload time is just long enough to where you can't get 2 salvos out during a teleport. You can only do 1. And even though Savants got pretty good damage, it's not enough to kill most things. So yeah, very interesting hangar. Definitely a few things I would say could be improved, but let's jump into some matches and see how it goes. Alright, we're going to start off with the Vortex, and I'm just going to see if it's at all possible, to rush the center beacon with this build. Thankfully they're bots, so they're not being too aggressive to it. Or come on, bro. Oh, wait, never mind. Game's bugged. Let's do this. Stasis him, but the problem is that the stasis only helps if they're close, and I'm using my ability to get that speed boost. which is another good reason as to why I think the overheat would have been the better option between the two. Reload that. I am very dead. Let's go with Blockhorn next. Do that. That'll kill him. They got savants. That's dangerous. I'm gonna move inward and then put my shield up so that I have this to cover me from that side. There we go. Should be fine. Okay. There we go. He still has the canopy. It's really... trying to keep them from coming down this ramp here, for the most part. I'm gonna put that there just so that the Nomad doesn't dash me. Well, I mean it does dash me, but it doesn't do anything. It's a Graviton Beam, which is fine, because, like, I still have a half HP Galvanic Hull. You'd have to chew through that before it does anything else. Do this. Hey, my bot actually made use of it. Good job, bot. Okay, same map, but I'm going to start with the Lacewing this time. We're just going to do that, and then drop down here and grab the beacon. I think I do want to be in, like, the center area, more or less, for the most part. So I'm going to try to do that. Let's just, yeah, mag dump and then get out. The Provoker probably has the range for, yeah, okay. This guy, if he doesn't die soon, I can take him out. Nope. The dash range implant that I have, I can take cover pretty easily. Oop. Oh, they took out my canopy. That's interesting. Still have one layer of shield left. I don't necessarily want to waste it. But I also don't want to just, like, sit around and do nothing, so. Here we go. Let's move down here. Help this guy out. Yeah, that's fine. Ouch. Oh, he didn't break my shield, though. Okay, well, I did break my shield that time. I can get him pretty easily, though. He almost smacked me good. Ouch. That was a lot of unnecessary damage. Let's spawn the Savant. Just smack him from back here. Damn. Yeah, this is the little amount of damage these Savants deal is actually not good. And then they constantly get blocked by canopies. They constantly get blocked by other shields. It's just not very effective anymore. Kill that guy, I think, yeah. Oh, that's a lot of guys. I don't want that. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's do that. Bro, I barely killed him with that. Hello. Goodbye. Him. It's not terrible, but you see multi-layered shields just like absolutely block this thing. Uh-oh, they're coming up. And I can't do much about it. Except I can go to this guy. Because he has EM rifles, so that's fine. Okay, well, I barely survived that. Do that. Now I have to waste both of my shots on. There we go. This freaking barricade or blockade, whatever it's called. Can I kill him with that? Nice. All right. And I mean, as much as I'm talking crap about this build, it's not doing that badly. It's just not doing particularly well either. Like, most of the kills that I got were EM rifle brick houses, so. Alright, same map. I'm going to attempt to rush center with this vortex build. Now, I don't want to... Come on, Chungus. I don't want to use my ability just yet, because it has quite a long cooldown, even with the cooldown implant. This guy's gonna freaking... The problem with this is, yeah. Even though I killed him, I also wasted my ability and my shield, and I'm dead. That build is, I don't, theoretically good, but I feel like it's not. Let's do the Blockhorn. Kill this guy real quick. We'll be able to kill this guy real quick. And cooldown, but the cooldown's not too long. Bro, what? Okay. Put that there, this there. Just try to flip over. Wow, okay. Those guys were tanky. Okay. So from the center here, I can really hold off this area. I could also hold off that area. I just need to pick one. It kind of depends on which one looks like it needs it the most. Oh, that's Revoker. My shield's gonna go down really quickly. Wanted to make sure I took the shield down on him before it went down, though. Okay, well, blockade's gone. That's fine for the most part. That Bastion's dead. I'm about to be dead. That's another Revoker Bastion. I'm screwed, yep. See, now might be a decent time to spawn the vortex. I'm gonna try this. Come on. The EMP duration was nice, actually. This guy. Oh, I'm screwed. Yeah, EMP duration's nice, but it's not so nice that you actually get kills out of it. It's like maybe 2 implosions as opposed to 1, and it's just way too much for you to have to cut through. So I'm gonna go with the laser swing. Let me just poke myself out here so that he tries to shoot at me. Come on. Thank you. What do you look like? Okay. You're doing that. That's fine. My shield's down, but that's also fine. There we are. He has a blockade, so I can shoot behind him. Do good damage. Okay. Okay, this map again. I'm gonna try the Hemlock first this time. Get him stuck. I can implode him a couple times. Problem is, I really can't do any damage until all of his mods are gone, which sucks. Like, that's not even remotely ideal. The implosion, yeah, you can see the implosion took down his shield as opposed to his HP. Get him down there. Now I have to cut through his galvanic hull before I can actually deal damage to him. It's just a lot of firing time that I have to do with. This guy should be fine. He doesn't even have the range on me, so I should probably be able to kill him. There we go. I'm gonna hit this guy first because I really don't want him behind me. This enemy still doesn't have the range on me, so I'm gonna do this. Do this. Nope. 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 Come on. Yeah, basically out of ammo at this point. That's not great. That's probably a bastion, yeah. Okay. I can kill him from there. I am so freaking weak, though. And I've done basically nothing. Okay, well, it's over. Let's do the vortex. Yeah, no, this surge is really making it difficult. I do have ability damage on here, so I might be able to kill him. No. I lost my shield, but it's not a huge deal. Now let me stasis him. Stasis you. I'll just tank it. It's whatever. Ow. Come on. There we go. Yeah, this, ow. That vortex has some very obvious flaws. Alright, so my final thoughts on this hangar. The vortex is kind of interesting. However, I don't think close quarters vortexes are ever really a good idea outside of 2v2. Because if there's a map, unless the map forces close proximity, vortex just generally isn't fast enough to keep up with the other close quarters mechs. And there's a lot more open areas in like CPC and 5v5, so you end up taking a lot of damage just trying to get close to somebody. In terms of the build specifically, like, I guess theoretically it sounds alright, but I don't think it's very practical. Replacing damage for stasis is another thing that, like, again, might theoretically work in 2v2, but I don't think it's ever going to be particularly practical in a CPC situation outside of, like, some extremely niched scenarios. The lace swing was pretty nice. The jump distance actually was very, very, very nice to have, actually. So yeah, just like solid build all around. One thing I would say about Lacewing, though, is that since it keeps its distance a lot, you could probably replace Perimeter with a blockade instead. Especially since it usually has the high ground as opposed to the low ground. You don't really have to worry about people using AoE to hit behind you in a Lacewing. So it might be slightly more effective to use blockade. The Disruptor Blockhorn is pretty decent, although I would say that you probably don't get enough shots out per, like, ability usage. In terms of really heavy suppressive fire, I find miniguns to be a bit better on Blockhorn. Just because, you know, the damage is much higher, your range is even slightly longer, and you can keep the suppressive fire for the entirety of the ability duration. So that's nice as well. All in all, though, not bad. The Graviton Hemlock was about what I expected it to be. I don't think there's any level of modular implant optimization that you could do that would turn this into a good build. Graviton's just an absolute crappy weapon for Hemlock, because it forces you to trigger the daze, really. I mean, if you have teammates and you want to use the daze as a supportive thing and let your teammates capitalize on it as opposed to breaking it yourself, then that's fine. And you could run, you know, a plethora of weapon options on Hemlock. But Assuming that's not the case, or assuming you want to actually do something with this build, what I would recommend, a weapon that has similar mechanics, but should work significantly better, is Viper. Now with Viper, the damage is in bursts, the same as it is with Graviton. However, it has two very distinct benefits to it. Whereas Graviton, you have to keep the small damage on the target for a little while before you're able to get that large damage. Viper can empty the regular rounds, wait until it has a rocket available, and then fire the rocket as the first shot. On a dazed enemy, that would then allow you to fire a rocket, and then probably you'd have the time to fire the regular shots and cycle back to another rocket, possibly even 2 more rockets. The second benefit is that Viper doesn't have a status effect like Graviton does. As you saw, Graviton had to implode the shields off, and then it would implode the galvanic hull off, and then it would actually start dealing damage to the mech itself. Viper doesn't have to deal with the galvanic hull. Even if you're shooting at the back, you'd still deal half of that damage to the mech, as opposed to Graviton, where the entire implosion damage goes straight to galvanic hull. So you down enemies much quicker with Viper, and the mechanics are relatively similar, the range is relatively similar, and you could get away with probably 2, maybe even 1 implant for Viper. You just want the damage. The reload and magazine are relatively optional. The Seeker, as far as Savant platforms go, it's not the worst, because in cases like you saw against all those brick houses, I was able to teleport to them as soon as they started firing at me. So like I was able to just like avoid a bunch of damage. And the reload's not super long. The damage is pretty high. The burst damage is like incredibly high. The issue is just that like you probably won't kill anything in a single salvo. It'll take 2 or 3. So all things considered, if you want to use Savants, I'd probably go for the 16s. And another thing is like, these are very ineffective against multi-layered shields. Each rocket, there's 6 rockets, and each one cannot take down a layer. It seems to take like 2 to 3 rockets to take down a layer, and this might be because the RPM is so fast. So even if the damage of a single rocket is able to take it out, I think quite possibly end up wasting quite a few rockets on multi-layered shields, and it just takes an absolute eternity to take those things out. Overall, not too bad. I'll give this hangar like 5 out of 6 stars. I know for the most part this is a sort of experimental hangar. So yeah, hopefully I was able to answer some questions that you had and give you a better idea of what to go for. Alright, next up we have this hangar from ADL. Part of the reason I wanted to run this hangar was kind of to contrast the hybrid builds that he requested with the hybrid build that Ceteris requested. But yeah, let's go through it real quick. Ember Nomad, very solid build. Graviton and Minigun on Aegis, it's very interesting. Helix on Scorpius, that's good, it's a solid one. A Helix/Mortar Brick House is very interesting. And then Disruptor on Vortex. Now the implants were up to me, I chose the ones that I thought would do the best, and the mods as well. Now these 2 hybrid builds here, I think they're going to cause you issues. Because, I mean, there's kind of no reason to put a Graviton and a Minigun when you could just put 2 Minigun, right? There's no benefit to using one of each. Especially since Graviton has to chew through Galvanic Hull before it even starts doing damage to the HP. Minigun does not. So it would be better to just use 2 Minigun in that case. And, you know, even if you were using 2 Graviton, you at very least would be able to keep your distance better, because Minigun is basically worthless at like 100 meters or so. What I did with the pilot was basically just stacked all of the Minigun implants and on a heavy-duty pilot, because that's going to be your main weapon. The Graviton's not going to do much. But I did put the Graviton damage on there. In terms of this one, I think, well, first off, from a hangar perspective, I don't think it's a good idea to have 2 Helix or /Mortar builds. I would keep either one or the other of these, this one obviously being the better one. A double mortar brick house is actually not bad. Very, very useful in team matches. But again, I don't think it's worth having a mortar platform and a helix platform in the same hangar. In terms of the implants, I went with a guided pilot, the helix damage, the mortar damage and radius, and then overcharger damage. I'm guessing helix is going to be your main weapon. I definitely wanted to stack up as much damage on this build as possible because that's what Brickhouse is good at. Unfortunately, mortar's only good if you use the radius implant, so that left me with only the damage for helix, even though the helix is probably going to be your main weapon on this build. The other builds look fine, though. Disruptor Vortex is actually pretty good. Helix Scorpius also pretty good, and then this is just, this is a meta build right here. It really is. But yeah, let's get into some matches and kind of see how it works. Alright, so I'm going to start this one off with Aegis. Now, I could have started with the Nomad and went for center, but I know the Nomad is going to be a good build. I know that build's going to work. So I kind of want to start with this and just see how well I can do with it. Now, both of my weapons have a pretty significant damage delay. 1 second on the spin-up time for minigun. 3 seconds on a single graviton beam. It's another good reason to not use a single graviton beam is because the implosion time is really long. This guy, though, will be fine. Oh, that's that's a Revoker Bastion. I am very dead. I'm gonna do my best to back up. Uh-oh. He's gonna damage me a lot. Thankfully, I'm alive. I'm gonna reload my minigun right now. Oh, nice, the Chungus boost. That's nice. I'm gonna drop this here. Try my best to... Oh, nope, that's a minigun and a Revoker. Hitting that right there. And that Bastion had a blockade shield, which meant that... Come on. Okay, well, I was trying to put my dome down to the side so that I could step inside of it and be safe. But, yeah, that didn't really happen. Let's go with the Nomad instead. So this build, much better. I'm going to try to get rid of this Scorpius first, though I'm probably dead, yeah. Very sad. This thing's freaking deadly. Let's try the Helix. Here we go. I can do that. I'm able to keep my distance with this. I just have a regular blockade as opposed to... Should I get your backup? Yeah, and avoid that. I don't have a multi-layered on this Scorpius. That's because I didn't really plan on being in sniper view. If I was a sniper, I'd put a multi-layer on, but I don't think it's really necessary if I'm not a sniper. The blockade has way more HP, though, which makes it a better choice than... Oh, nice. Better choice than perimeter on something that's going to hang back. Oop. Pretty good damage, honestly. Even though I'm not gonna... Yeah, it's fine. Saw that coming. Hello. Even though I'm not gonna, like, one-shot things like I would before mods. I am a Helix build, so it doesn't really matter if I'm able to one-shot things, because I'm not really in any danger. Capitalize on their EMP there. This guy should be dead. And no, it's not too bad. Okay, this one I'm going to start with the brick house. The reason is because this is actually a really nice mortar and helix map where mortar and helix users both basically stand in the same spot. That's not the case on a lot of maps, but it is on this one, so it might be interesting to see how this works. Using my... Yeah, I was going to say, I'm not going to bother using my ability until I know I'm gonna hit multiple enemies. Oh, I thought I was gonna hit multiple enemies there. I might do this. That'll land. Hit some people. Oh, hello. He'll absorb that damage, but I'm fine. There we go. He might be under the icicle a little bit, but I think I can get him. Yeah. So, like, as scuffed as this build is, I think it might actually work, sort of. On this map. I'm not really sure of any maps that are... like, other than this one, I actually don't know really of any maps where Helix and Mortar platforms basically stay in the same spot. Oh, hello. Oops. Oh, I didn't mean to link my weapons there. I don't know when that happened. I'm going to just try to back up. He may or may not kill me, but I'm just going to try to back up. I am very screwed, yeah. Okay, nice. We do have center, so I'm going to do this. I have ability damage on this, just so that while I'm reloading, if I happen to be close to people, I can do a bit of damage with the ability. The ability damage is actually pretty nice. Let me see if I can get up here. Stop. Now he knows that I'm there, but so long as I'm EMP'd in that spot, I'm not going to take a lot of damage. Well, I mean, I thought I wouldn't, but they're doing kind of a crazy amount of damage to me right now. There we go. Does that kill him? It does. Come on. Aw. I'm gonna see if I can help them secure the center beacon with this abomination. This is not going to end well for me. I'll try to take out that guy first. I'm just going to, yeah, tank it to the face better than letting it go past me. I was able to kill them too, but, like, only barely. If I had miniguns, like, if they were players, they would have just stepped inside my dome and killed me, but if I had miniguns, I would have been able to kill them much faster. Like, double miniguns, I mean. Because I get all of the downsides. With this build, I have all of the downsides of both weapons, but neither of the upsides. If one of my teammates can grab the center, then that'd be great. I can spawn this vortex. And secure this spot right here. Stop, 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 stop. They'll EMP each other. I can help this guy out by giving him resistance for a bit. But he is very dead. Those Revoker Bastions are, like, super, super evil. I can't do a whole lot about it right now. Okay. He's in my radius. Then... oh, okay. 2 EM brick houses. I can take that. Do that. This guy here should be able to kill him with that. Yeah. That is minigun. I don't want to deal with that. I can go around here now. Oh, hello. I am stuck just slightly. I ended up getting my teammate killed, but it's alright. It happens. Pop his shield. I want to go on. He's going to... What? What even EMP'd me? I don't even know. That was not good. Oh, there's... Okay, they're going for that. I need this, I suppose. There's so many Revoker Bastion bots. They're everywhere. And I'm getting absolutely rinsed by them. Let's try this. I thought there was a guy on the... Okay, thank you. Couldn't really get to him because he was underneath the ceiling. This should be fine. I can get him. And this, of course, is just like a decent platform. And this is a good map for this as well. Okay, his canopy's gone. So I can hit him from the top. He just has a galvanic left. So he'll be dead. There you go. Okay, so final thoughts on this hangar. A few of these builds aren't bad. They're actually pretty good. But then these two, these hybrid ones, they're terrible, frankly. Like I said, there's kind of no point in having two builds that you hang back with. Because if anyone's particularly aggressive, then you basically have two builds that can't do anything. And if you start losing your home beacons, then, you can't push with either of these builds. You can't be aggressive. That really only leaves you with these two builds to push beacons with, and these two builds to hold beacons with. This one not being very effective because the build is very, very scuffed. So you end up with the turning penalty, like the turning speed debuff from minigun without even having the full benefit of like the high DPS of minigun. You end up with the extreme damage delay of graviton beam, but you don't even get the benefit of the implosion going off. Very frequently, you don't get the benefit of having decent DPS at like 100 meters. So really, this is the worst of both worlds and not the best of both worlds. I would highly, highly recommend double minigun and not worrying about the graviton beam. In terms of this build, I would honestly just swap it out entirely. What you replace it with is kind of up to you, but maybe something with like really high DPS would be nice. You could even theoretically keep the brick house. You just shouldn't have a guided or artillery weapon on it. Something like nades would actually be pretty good, because it serves a similar purpose if you really need it to, but it also doubles as a really decent brawler weapon, which is something that you kind of really desperately need. The only brawler that you have is this Nomad. Overall, I'll give this hangar like 3 out of 6 stars. You have some really good builds in here, but you also have some really bad ones, and I don't feel like there's much reason to have them there. Alright, last up we have this hangar from several people. Basically the goal is just to maximize as much HP as possible. We got the Blockhorn with Viper 16s, very solid. Damage and reload on the weapon, as well as cooldown and the shield durability. Blockade for the mod. Vortex with Stormrack. Shield damage as opposed to radius. I'm not sure if that's going to be a better idea, but who is to say? Although I would say, it's probably better to have a cooldown than to have all 4 Stormrack implants. This one has a perimeter multi-layer. I'll get to why in a second. Nomad with Revoker, very solid. The requested build was Revoker damage and range, and then ability cooldown and range. I would actually go with ability damage over Revoker range, because Revoker range is kind of pointless. Slot A mod is regular perimeter. Minigun Aegis, all the minigun implants plus cooldowns, pretty classic build. Once again, base module is perimeter. And then Missile Rack Bastion with the Missile Rack implants plus cooldown. All of these were requested to have blockade on them. However, I don't have the mod parts to upgrade these. All of these on Bastion are level 1. I cannot get them any further. And so I kind of just stuck with the ones that I had for all of the other mechs as well. But hopefully it's good enough. This Bastion's going to definitively be the worst build out of all of them anyway, simply because it has Missile Rack, and Missile Rack is not very good. Initial thoughts, it's pretty decent. It's a very, very beefy hangar. I'd probably go with nades over Missile Rack on Bastion, to be honest. But otherwise, the rest of these builds are pretty solid. Let's get into some matches and see how it works, though. Alright, so this one, I'm going to start with the Blockhorn, because it has pretty decent effective range. And I don't think I necessarily need to power into center at the moment. I can wait and do that later. me do this, though. Some good damage. Yeah, Viper 16s do a lot of damage. Should probably stagger the rockets a little bit, though. There we go. There you go. His shield's down. Ow. I took a bit of damage from that. I can damage the... There we go. The Bastion should be gone. That brick house should be gone. Come on. There we are. My blockade's almost gone, but that's alright. I know that there's a bot kind of behind me. I'm just trying to do my best to sort of... There we go. This should be fine. He might use his ability on me. Oh, no. He died too quick. Okay. Works for me. Do this. Okay. Put this here. Again, stagger the rockets just slightly. Because I don't want both of the rockets going into a single layer of a multi-layered shield. It wouldn't benefit me very much, so do that. I'm probably dead here because I don't have any ammo, and that guy exists. Okay, I'm gonna try to just get into center as quickly as possible. And then hold it down with whatever I need to hold it down with. Which shouldn't be too hard, considering everything I have is, like, excessively tanky. At least theoretically it shouldn't be too hard. You're fine. You're fine. He's gonna EMP you, that's alright. Yeah, he's dumb. Nerd. I want to kill him before he gets his dash back, though. So let's do that. Oh god, okay. Yep. My shield's gone, and I'm at like a 3rd HP. I want to kill this guy. This dude over here, what is that? Chungus. He'll be fine. I'll be able to take him out easy. I think I might even just like allow myself to die here, so I can spawn with the vortex. Come on. Well, these bots have like freaking ridiculous aim. He's gonna grab this if I don't do something, so I'm just gonna go over here and do it. I'm just gonna take care of it while I can. Here we go. I'm not even gonna bother grabbing it. I'm just gonna go back to center. I don't care. I don't care if we have it. I just want them to not have it. All right. He might die to my ability damage, actually. Yep. And that's an EM rifle bot, so he shouldn't do too much to me. I mean, I don't have a shield anymore, but... yeah, there we go. This guy, I can take care of him. There's another one coming through. Oh, it's another freaking Bastion. He's gonna do a lot of damage to my shield, but I think I can kill him before he can take my dome down. Yeah, let's go. Come, fellas. How do they keep losing that? That's so irritating. It's fine. It's fine. Drop this here. Just see what I can get. Okay. Yeah, no. Watching my dome HP, I don't think I want to stand there anymore. He just fired, so I could do that. Alright. For the final test of Thick Boy Hangar, I'm going to go straight for center. Hope that I can capture it. And then do my best to just hold it down the entire match. They're absolutely swarming it. There's no chance. But that's okay, because I can swarm it as well. They're all dead. I'm going to capture it. I'm going to make sure they don't get it back. It's the shield damage implant on this is going to help take down some mods. But I'm not sure how effective it's going to be overall. I would guess versus players it'd probably be better to use the radius. Let's see how much we can do with just going in. Yeah, okay, immediate death. Fair enough. Alright, the Bastion. Now, the mods are level 1. Gotta keep that in mind. But the EMP will be nice. I don't want to put my shield up while he has his. There we go. Okay. Come on. There we go. I kind of wasted my shield, but that's fine. It's not a big deal. Reload's so freaking slow. Okay, let's do this. This Chungus is actually going to trigger my EMP, which is going to stun some people. I am almost dead, but that's okay. This build is not as bad as I thought it would be, honestly. Although that Chungus is gonna kill me. Yeah, I saw that coming. Come on, there we go. It's great to be able to block the EMP from that. Want to reload. Come on, there we go. Block that. Wow, it takes like nearly a full magazine to kill even a Chungus. Alright, so final thoughts. Not too bad. Obviously, I don't think the goal of this hangar was necessarily to be like the best hangar possible. It's just to be some really thick boys. And I kind of wanted to... I was kind of curious to see how it would work. Like I said, I probably would replace the range with ability damage, just because it seems to make more sense to me. The rest of these are pretty good, though I would put probably nades on Bastion as opposed to missile rack, and quite possibly swap the minigun and Viper builds, putting Viper on Aegis and then minigun on Lockhorn. But otherwise, yeah, I'll give this a thick 5.5 out of 6. You do lose half a point for not having Chungus in here. Anyway, thank you to Citeriz, ADL, and several people for your submissions. Was a lot of fun. If you want to see your own dream hangar in a future episode, then just leave a comment under the video with the keyword dream hangar, and then list out your 5 mechs and weapons. You can specify the implants and the mods if you want to as well, but I do require at least for you to list 5 different mechs with 5 weapons that I can actually reasonably equip with. Otherwise, you can head to Discord. There's a place for it there as well. That's where a few of these submissions came from. Otherwise, that will be it from me. Appreciate y'all. Take care.